Guys, welcome back to Planet Tyro. I'm your host, Donald Wonder. So, me and my Tyro buddies this weekend saw Ant-Man opening weekend. It's the last big Marvel movie of the year, I believe, unless they've got a special trick up their sleeve. And after the movie, we sat around the table, had a little Tyro discussion, as you've seen we do every once in a while. And we got critical on our thoughts on the review, on the discussion. And I'm sure it's not going to be a very popular opinion, but, you know, give some food for thought, not just Marvel ass kissing that the majority does. So if you don't mind watching a review that might rattle some feathers, stay tuned.
Tyro Media.
Okay, so we're back from Marvel's Ant-Man, the last big Marvel movie of the year, is that right?
I don't know, there's not 20 more coming, I guess.
Yeah, in the next 4 or 5 years. But this is the last one of 2015. We already saw Avengers Age of Ultron. So this was the movie that people were saying that could... I guess people are kind of skeptical whether this was going to work or not. So before we get into the questions, you know how we break it down, what did you think of the movie overall, first of all?
It didn't surprise me. Like, I didn't go in with any expectations. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. And aside from a few scenes, I don't think I'd remember it tomorrow morning, to be honest with you. So if I had to give it a rating out of 10, I'd say I'd give it about a 6.
So just looking at what this is, it's like a good summer movie with a bunch of terrible movies stuck on top of it. So it's a decent enough movie on the base, but there's just so many terrible things that they keep piling up to, I guess, extend the movie beyond what could have been just a very simple, straightforward superhero story with a cool visual effect.
Alright guys, what didn't work then?
Well, the comedy, for one, like the multiracial psychic squad that they have in here.
Psychic squad.
It's absolutely horrendous. Like, first of all, they try to be real PC of getting, you know, T.I. As the black guy, a Latino, and I don't know what a third guy was.
Like an Eastern European.
Yeah, like a Black Widow-ish, I don't know.
He even gets some guy who's paranoid about gypsies.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
You can be paranoid about Jews, but you can be paranoid about gypsies. Yeah. What they forgot is that out of that group, Paul Rudd, who's the white guy, he's the only straight man with morals. Everybody else is a freaking buffoon clown. So it actually comes up more offensive. And outside of that, I guess the problem was that they repeat the same formula of doing things just to do it. The comedy keeps coming back in every scene. Where it's dramatic, action, setup, conclusion, exposition, whatever. There's always a running gag that they overdo up until you get sick of it, like a comedy. It's like a comedy, and they do the same thing with every character. The female character has to be every stereotype in the book. She's feisty.
Let's get that always elaborate on that, because I know you had to say something about the way the females are portrayed.
Because I'm just gonna rant.
Okay, just following on from what Simon was saying. So basically, they set it up so like you see, like, you know, you've got the Evangeline Lilly, I think her name is. Her character, who plays effectively Michael Douglas's daughter in the film. And she's feisty, she's smart, she's intelligent, she's sexy. She's basically every single stereotype or characteristic of a woman rolled into one. But the one thing she's not is a boy, basically.
The one thing she isn't is the main character of the movie.
That too.
Is the main character boy, because effectively the one thing that she can do that she doesn't need the training to do, because she already has the training to do and she can already do and she already understands, is the one thing that they effectively get Paul Rudd in to do. Michael Douglas's character gets Paul Rudd in to do because he doesn't want his daughter doing it, because really she's not a guy, and then to pay lip service to
Well, to be fair, let me stop you there and say they did have an excuse why she isn't the main folk, why she isn't Ant-Man. So what did you think of that excuse, Ore? Without spoiling it, what did you think of the reasoning behind that? He just doesn't want her to do it because he doesn't want her to get hurt.
Oh, that, right. You're human. You're gonna get hurt, you know. Shit happens. and at the end of the day, she's a full-grown woman who can make her own choices. So it's a bit like, really? Would you still be saying that if she was a boy? If that was your son, would you still be saying that? I don't think so. So no, it's a bit pitiful, really. It's cute, but it's still quite pitiful.
I mean, I agree. I think it's weak. I think it's actually very outdated. They've used that kind of thing in the past before. So, alright, we've been shitting on it a little bit. So, guys, what worked in that, man? What worked?
I'm gonna say this. What makes it enjoyable that visually it's cool. Like the shrinking gimmick is cool. I think that was, again, going back to what they missed. What they missed was they could have really focused on story and character because nobody knows anything about this character. So if you can actually take chances of character development, this was the time to do it. Because nobody had like a preconceived idea of what it needs to be. Plus, the movie's cool visually. It's fun to see him shrink and just go about on these different adventures. Just in general areas, you don't have to have fight scenes, you don't have to have action to make it interesting visually. So there was so much room, but instead they just filled it with stereotypes. And Paul Rudd, he's just a blank sheet of white paper. This is the last time I'm gonna go on this rant, but
I can't stop you going. Tell how it is.
These genre movies where the property sold itself was the perfect movie for a young actor to break out. Because the movie sold itself, so they didn't need a big name as the lead. And if you were a young actor, this was your time to shine. But nowadays, all these old actors realize that, hey, I can sign up for a franchise and do 10 movies in a row and sustain my career. So now you have Michael Douglas calling Paul Rudd's son and asking, what are you gonna do with your life, boy? I'm like, he's 45 years old. What are you talking about? He's gonna retire in 5 years. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna have grandchildren. It's like, oh, time to grow up, son. It's like, yeah, he's a fucking 40. Yeah.
Speaking of the actors, let's talk about something specifically. What do you think about Michael Pena? He had a great part in the movie. Don't you guys think so?
Oh my god.
I know I'm gonna say this after the video, guys, but I just found Michael Pena, the comedy. I know you said this already as it didn't work, but in case I don't say it at the end of the video, I thought the comedy was pretty bad and very flat, and the worst part of the movie was the comedy. For everyone else except for Paul Rudd, the comedy on everyone else was just absolutely terrible.
So the thing is, completely agree. The key thing about comedy is that you have to play it straight. Like, slapstick doesn't really work. I mean, under most circumstances, there are circumstances it does work. And unfortunately, it was just being hammed up too much in this film. And personally, with the sidekick characters, I just didn't really care for them. Like, I just wasn't interested. What's his name? Michael Pena.
I'm pretty sure I got it right. Yeah. Hopefully I didn't get it wrong.
Wasn't interested in him. T.I. and the other guy.
Going back to what we all said collectively, because now these movies are such sustainability for an actor. Every small role in the movie is played by a name.
Yeah.
You don't have supporting actors who are fresh faces. You have people who either been huge on a TV show or huge on another movie, so they're transferring into a Marvel franchise, so they gotta keep them around. So half of this movie is just buffoonery. It's usually support characters that you would forget about coming back at the worst moments, like cutting away from the action to see the stepdad and what he's up to, and he's doing commentary of what's going on and having his own little subplot, and I'm like, I
was shocked at that guy. I'm putting a picture on the screen, guys. This guy here from Boardwalk Empire and even from Nurse Jackie,
fucking wasted.
Wow, man, he took us, and he's seen bigger actors, quality actors, character actors coming down to these Marvel movies just to keep their acting profiles relevant. Or I understand it's a business, you need to do as an actor, but it's very disappointing that. But you know what? Let me wrap this up and saying it's a Marvel movie, it's a fun movie, it's not an offensive movie. I think for the general audiences it might be serviceable. The ratings, people are saying it's okay. People are saying it's the less of the Marvel movies. And generally, how do you guys think it fits in the grander scheme of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and your final thoughts on it, just to wrap up?
I would say for me, like I said at the beginning, like I give it about 6. I would have liked to have seen, I think what Simon said at the beginning, what would have happened if they left the original draft with Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright.
Oh yeah.
I would have liked to have seen what would have happened in that, and actually miss out on a golden opportunity because Ant-Man isn't as well known as a lot of the other characters. But I do respect and like the fact that Marvel, at least compared to DC are actually trying to expand and actually trying to at least making, even if it's slow steps or small steps, to try and do things with different characters.
Lesser characters, true.
Characters,
yeah.
You know, characters that aren't as well known.
That aren't Batman?
That aren't Batman.
They might cast Ben Affleck as somebody in the next one. They're just gonna bring
So he might direct one of the Marvel movies.
Yeah, Ben Affleck should direct everything now. Michael Douglas saved the movie for me. To me, he was. He's one of my all-time favorite actors.
He is actually.
Even in this one, he made scenes work that were terribly written, horrible dialogue, and he just sold it. He's the most interesting character in the movie. You actually want to see a movie about. He's the mentor in this. So
he's the original Hank Pym. He's the first Ant-Man.
He passes down the mantle.
Yeah.
You want to see his story more than the actual movie. In fact, the little bits he revealed are much more interesting because he's just a more fascinating character.
I really liked, and it really bugged me at the same time as I mentioned before, the whole obviously anti-feminist almost aspect of it with her not being a boy thing. But I do have to say their relationship was really interesting to watch, and I would have been really interested in seeing what he was like, even if they had to do it in more of a flashback type way, or manipulate the story somehow so that he's still in the film but they have a younger version playing him. That would have been a more interesting and a complete contrast, I feel, to a lot of the Marvel movies that are out at the moment. And for me, I think that would have been an interesting way of showcasing Ant-Man as a Marvel movie, but as a different type of Marvel movie.
Yeah, the main character who's actually owning up to his age, and instead it's not a 45-year-old guy playing the kid, the young apprentice.
Personally, I'm going to give Ant-Man the rating of okay. It's perfectly serviceable for a superhero movie, but to be honest with you, Marvel, I kind of expect a little bit more from them, even though Ant-Man isn't a character I had any investment in, to be honest with you. But honestly, I didn't find the story that engaging. I thought Michael Douglas' character, the original Ant-Man, had a much more compelling story, especially when you find out what happened between him and his wife, his daughter. He made the suit. I would have preferred you know what, forget that. I even heard that, you know, the original script that Edgar Wright wrote was going to be a lot more dynamic, but apparently it was too much for Marvel. So they went with this rendition that just honestly is very forgettable. I know that's harsh, but I walked away from the movie thinking that was it was okay. The visuals are very good, don't get me wrong, that's the best praise I can give for the movie. But the story was meh, the comedy was no, and it was just kind of forgettable in the grand scheme. Yes, even against some of the worser Marvel movies like Iron Man 2, which you can hate, but even the bad things are kind of memorable. So, sorry guys, I know, I'm sorry. Planet Tyro, we're very critical here, but Ant-Man is kind of just meh. So, guys, let us know what you think about Ant-Man. If you completely disagree with our opinions and think we're just stuck up pricks like most of the time you think we are, but you know, we call it as we see it. Leave a comment down below and let us know, because we don't care. We're just sharing our opinions with you guys, and we want to hear what you think as well. If you like the videos, if you like the content, hit the annotations on the screen to get more content on videos and animation, movie, TV shows. And we're pumping out a lot of content at this point in time because we've got a lot of stuff we want to share with you guys. So hope you stay tuned. Hope you like the content. Thanks guys for joining me on this review. And until the next one, take care people. Peace out.